How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Sports. I'm your host, Andrew, here with a solo episode about the NBA Finals. Game 7 last night, Sunday night, comes away with the Oklahoma City Thunder as the new NBA champions, their first in their franchise history. Congratulations to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren getting his first championship in only year two. Very impressive stuff from the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I feel pretty happy for all those Oklahoma City fans who earlier in the year, I don't know if you guys saw it, there was some rumors that Oklahoma and the Thunder might be parting ways, and the Thunder may look to move to a new city because they were in discussions about the arena. But it looks like all those got resolved, and thankfully so, because now the Thunder have won their first NBA championship here in 2025. Just got some thoughts on Game 7. Obviously, excuse me, the game kind of started off on a rough note in the first quarter with Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers, who it was just a gut wrenching thing to see. And Tyrese Halliburton, in only 7 minutes, scored 9 points. So he was already on his way. He went 3 for 5 from the field, and he went 3 for 4 from three. So, I mean, Tyrese Halliburton was absolutely killing it, but tore his Achilles. It came out earlier this morning that he did indeed tear his Achilles tendon, and it's a pretty severe tear in the Achilles. It will most likely cost him all of next season since it is so late in the season. I know we've seen guys like Jason Tatum tear his Achilles and have a pretty significant injury, and then Damian Lillard for the Bucks also tear his Achilles, and we may not see Dame play until January or February of 2026 or even later. So this is a really gut-wrenching game for the Pacers. They overall played very, very well. So I'm going to start with the Pacers. Pascal Siakam played in 36 minutes and he scored 16 points. It was a very solid game for Pascal Siakam. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and he did have a turnover. But overall, Pascal Siakam has kind of been the rock for the Pacers. He's been the steady foundation for them. And with guys like Miles Turner, who only played 23 minutes tonight, only scored 6 points, not really performing to the level Miles Turner needed to, Pascal Siakam was the guy that kind of anchored the Indiana Pacers. But he was not the leading scorer. Benedict Mathurin off the bench in 33 minutes scored 24 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. A very good night for Benedict Mathurin. He had a very good finals off the bench. I believe it was game 4 that he came in. Oh, no, it was game 5 when Halliburton got hurt. Mathurin came in and provided a spark off the bench. TJ McConnell in 28 minutes also scored 16 points, had a very solid game. Aaron Nesmith fouled out once again. I think that's the third time in this series that Aaron Nesmith has fouled out. He only scored 3 points. He did get 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, so he was very good on the defense, but you can't have him fouling out in the biggest game of the series. Andrew Nembhard scored 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in 36 minutes. He was very good on defense. He didn't cause too many issues. He didn't get any steals or blocks, but he kept contesting shots. He did only get 3 personal fouls, so that was very good. The Pacers overall, like, even though they did lose Tyrese Halliburton, they still played a very good game. They were down 25-22 at the end of the first quarter, so they were only down 3, and then they outscored the Thunder in the second quarter 26-22 and were up 48-47, but then they blew it open, or the Thunder blew it open in the third quarter 34-20, and really the Pacers could not really get it back. They did outscore the Thunder by 1 in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough, and the final score ended up being 91-103, giving OKC the win. Very sad end to the Pacers season, very long season for them. They've had so many injuries, but it just wasn't quite there. They didn't quite have it out enough, and part of me wonders what would have happened if Tyrese Halliburton had played all of those 48 minutes. Would he have been able to play even 30 minutes. I know he played on reduced minutes in game 6, but I'm really wondering what would the game be and what would the outcome be if Tyrese Halliburton didn't get hurt and he would add an extra level of defense, extra level of scoring that the Pacers did need tonight. Because looking at the some of the percentages, the Pacers shot 41% from the field. However, they only made 29 of the 70 field goals they made. They went 11 of 28 from 3, and then they went 22 from 29 from the free throw line. So very good on free throws. But the thing that I'm looking at that killed them was their turnovers. They gave up 21 turnovers compared to the Thunder's 7 turnovers. So that was another big thing that you can't have in the finals. And then for the Thunder, looking at some of the players' stats, SGA in 40 minutes scored 29 points, 12 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. By the way, for SGA, the Kia MVP this year and the finals MVP as well. Isaiah Hartenstein in 18 minutes scored 7 points. He had a couple rebounds, 9 rebounds to be exact, 4 assists, excuse me, and 1 steal. And overall, Isaiah Hartenstein played a really solid game. Lou Dort only scored 9 points and 7 rebounds. He did have 3 steals though. Lou Dort was all over the court. He was always hustling up and down, trying to get anything he could to get the ball back. And it was incredible to see. He had always been doing that this whole series, and he brought a whole defensive life that I don't think I've ever seen out of one singular player in the NBA. Quite frankly, I've never seen that out of a player. I've never seen so much hustle in one player. Chet Holmgren in 31 minutes scored 18 points, 8 rebounds. He had 5 blocks though. That is insane. He really came alive here in game 7. He's been scuffling over the last 3 games, but he came alive here. 18 points for the what was he? The 23-year-old, the second-year 23-year-old from Gonzaga. And then J-Dub, Jalen Williams, 38 minutes, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Very good night from Jalen Williams. And SGA said it that they were going to share that finals MVP, and rightfully so. Jalen Williams was very, very good off in the starting lineup, and he really broke out this season. So congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Looking at some other players off the bench, Cason Wallace, 10 points off the bench, 3 steals. Very good night from him. He was so good off the bench, and let me see, what did he go from 3? Yeah, he went 4 for 6 from the field goal line, and he went 2 of 3 from 3. So that's a very good, I would say, stat line for Cason Wallace. And Alex Caruso, the young of the team, he went 32 minutes, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1 block for the 31-year-old out of Texas A&M. He gets his second ring. So very solid performance from the Thunder with the stat lines. Percentage-wise, they shot 40% from just field goal percentage. They shot 40%, 35 for 87. They went 11 for 40 from the three-point line, 27%. Not great. And they also went 22 for 31 at the free throw line. They missed a lot of free throws tonight, and the Pacers did not capitalize on that. They had a better percentage at the free throw line. They didn't take or make more free throws than the Thunder, but they certainly made a more percentage of it. And then they only gave up 7 turnovers, and they blocked 8 shots and had 14 steals and 20 assists. So the Thunder really overall did outperform the Indiana Pacers on Sunday night, and in every way they did. So overall, though, this series has been really good. Again, shout out to the Pacers, who really never gave up, even though Halliburton was down. You saw Benedict Mathurin trying to get all he could in those final seconds of the fourth quarter, even though when it was clear the Pacers really couldn't do anything. And in the fourth quarter, it looked like they were mounting a charge. They were only down 8, down 10 with like 2 minutes to go. And I was just thinking, if the Pacers could get on a big enough run, we could have maybe seen the Pacers come back and force into overtime maybe, but that ended up not being the case. They lose by 12. Still, valiant effort by the Pacers. I'm still not a humongous fan of them because they knocked out the Bucks earlier in the playoffs, but it is what it is. It was a very solid series, a very good series. I kind of undermined it there, but A very good series in the NBA playoffs. What a way to end the season with 7 games. And it's June 23rd and they're wrapping up the NBA playoffs. It's kind of crazy to me that it's in June and they're wrapping up the playoffs. Man, it's kind of crazy, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think the Thunder are the deserving winner? What do you think would have happened if Tyrese Halliburton would have played more in Game 7? Just let me know, what do you think of the Thunder getting their first championship? Do you think the Pacers maybe will come back next year with the same energy? And don't think that this is the end of NBA content on this show, at least until September, October. We got plenty of offseason news and stories to cover. Like Kevin Durant just got traded yesterday, or on Saturday, excuse me. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo, we don't know where he's going to go. So, again, that's not really what this episode's about, but let me know what you think down in the comments about the finals. Just let me know. I want to hear it. But that's going to do it for me, Andrew Volkman, on a solo episode. Sign off for now, and we'll see you next time. Bye.